In this video, we are talking about how much money I made from my Teachers Pay Teachers store in the month of August. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rachel from The Behavior Check-in. I'm a K-12 behavior specialist, and I'm also a TPT creator and seller. And in this video, we are talking about how I did this month in sales on Teachers Pay Teachers. So just a little disclosure, I am not a huge seller. I am probably more along the lines of a casual seller. I make products when I have the time, and I post them on Teachers Pay Teachers. Now, I had big plans this year for August because August is a big time for Teachers Pay Teachers because it's back to school and teachers are buying all sorts of different products for their classroom. So like my goal was to put a lot of effort into my store over the summer, and that did not happen. I had so much to do this summer. It was not like what I was hoping for. I had to study for a test and for my certification here in California, and that was a huge undertaking. And good news, I just found out that I did pass that test. So yay, I'm officially, all the things for California are certified and done. But that really preoccupied my time this summer. So I really didn't make a lot of products. I only added a couple little things to my store. Didn't do much for it. I also did not do a lot for the sale because I was really bogged down with the beginning of the school year stuff, and I got really sick. I got COVID again. It just was not, it was not in the cards for me. So I pretty much ignored my store, and I had really good results, really good results. So I made, drumroll please, without doing anything, let me mind you, nothing, I made a little under $1,200 this month, which is a huge deal for me. As you know, my biggest month to date has been about $1,000. So that is matching that from last year, and that was in November. Now that's how much I made in sales. I'm taking home a little less than that because TPT does take its commission, but I am still really happy, especially since I did not put a ton into my store and I pretty much just let it go on autopilot. And I think that speaks to the fact that I have some really good products that just continually bring in sales for me, which I think is really beneficial if you are someone who wants to be a Teachers Pay Teachers creator. You need to have some of those really good products that are not oversaturated. I know there are other teachers who make data trackers and Google Sheets and all the things that I make, but I do it with my own unique spin and with, my mind as a behavior specialist behind it and what has worked for me in the classroom. So my stuff doesn't look like everybody else's stuff, and it's not something that can be created with ChatGPT. It's something that I have to sit down and do myself. So I think that does help because that is something that teachers can't create themselves, or it would take them a long time to create. So they don't have a problem spending money to buy some of the things that I create because time is money, and that saves them, their time, and they have more time to do the things that they like. In August, my service minutes tracker was my biggest seller, along with my IEP data trackers that I have talked about on here. Those were the biggest things. My functional behavior assessment, my behavior data bundles also did really well. Bundles really help because they put a lot of your best-selling products together and they put them in a category for what people are specifically looking for, so they don't have to hunt and they can get them all there. One thing I also love about my bundles is my bundles are always ever growing. So when I create new things that fit into that niche, so if they're more IEP graphing type things, or if they're more behavior type things, or more FBA, that sort of thing, then if I create more things, I will just add them to the bundle. So my bundles are growing. So people want to buy my bundles because they know that if you purchase it once, when I add new stuff, you still get those things. So it's kind of a cool deal. But that is really like where my bread and butter is. I have my other things that have been helpful. I do Google Slides that are social emotional lessons. Those have done pretty well. And I did my Calm Down Corner kit, and that did pretty well considering it's a new product. I think another thing that really helped me as well is I have been on Teachers Pay Teachers for a while, and the longer that you've been on Teachers Pay Teachers and the more that your things are purchased and the more that they are rated, that really helps drive sales to your store because you're coming up in search. Moving forward, I would like to do these videos every single month as I do my Teachers Pay Teachers journey, because I think it's really helpful to have full transparency. I would have loved to seen a lot of this when I first started. A lot of the creators I saw had already made like huge amounts of money and like were living, like they were selling courses, you know, they were in that level, that stratosphere of how they were doing. They were selling all these courses and making like $10,000 a month or more. And although that's what I would have loved to have had, that just seemed so like out of the realm of possibility because I was at the beginning of my journey. So seeing someone who's kind of the beginning, I think is really helpful. But I have been doing this, as I talked about in my previous video, I've been doing Teachers Pay Teachers consistently for about a year now. I've had my store for a long time, but I really didn't do much with it. So where I've been really focusing on it has been for about a year. So I'm really happy because in August of last year, I only made like 200 and some odd bucks, which is not an only, like that's huge. 200 bucks is a big deal. Like that pays bills. All right. I'm not downplaying that, but to go from that to, you know, just under like $1,200 is a big deal in my personal opinion. I mean, that's for a lot of people, that's a lot of bills. That's a good savings. That's a good portion towards a vacation. But moving forward, my goals for next month are to create 4 new products next month and possibly 1 more bundle. That is what I'm aiming for. I think that's doable for me, someone who makes YouTube videos, someone who is working in the classrooms as a behavior specialist, K through 12. I have a lot going on. Someone who has 2 kids, you know, all the things, a dog. I'm busy, right? I think that's doable for me to aim for 4 products this month. I will check in with you all in October and I will let you know how September went and if I met those goals. So I'm gonna give myself grace if I need to give myself grace. I feel like, you know, I'm on a good momentum, but really just kind of how I create things is I think about things that I need, things that I use in my classroom and how that could be beneficial. So usually I create things that I need first and then I test them out. And if I like them, I put them on Teachers Pay Teachers. So that's how I do it. And it just depends on the season of how my teaching is going. Sometimes I'm creating a lot of things and sometimes I'm not. And I allow myself that grace if I need it. My goal for the month of September is to make $1,500. Actually, last year, the month of September was better for me than the month of August was. So I'm looking forward to that. I would be like over the moon if I hit $2,000. Like, I might just put that out there that I'm going to make $2,000 in the month of September. But I will check back with you in October and let you know how I did. And so you can just let me know if you have any questions, anything that you're curious about when it comes to Teachers Pay Teachers, just let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, if you found it helpful, let me know. If anybody's thinking about making a little extra money on Teachers Pay Teachers, I think it's really beneficial just to see what real people are doing and how they're doing on this platform. I know I've heard a lot of people say that they feel like their sales are down. I think that is because people are using Canva and AI and they're making their own resources. So if you really do want to be successful on Teachers Pay Teachers, I think you have to create things that people can't easily make themselves within 30 minutes before a lesson. So that's the biggest thing. If you want to create something, remember that you need to make something that teachers don't have time to make themselves and feel comfortable in that price range purchasing for themselves because they feel like they're going to use it over and over and over again. But if you like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please share it to anybody that you think would benefit from seeing it, and subscribe so you can see how I did in the month of September and you can come back and see if I hit my goals. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next video.